definition of sacred is, but if sacred means something that is just intrinsically important and to be revered, my question to you, Matt, is do you think you need to be a person of faith to hold something sacred? And my question to you, Anna, is if you're not a person of faith, what's sacred?
You go first, or you can talk last time.
If you're just defining sacred as something to be revered, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by revered, but I'll sort of make up a definition and say valued, understood as important, significant. And so if you don't have, I mean, through personal experience, through the stories that, through, I guess what I would say, the sort of the critical engagement with the stories your culture has given you, that's how you sort of understand what's valued, just paying by paying attention. Usually, the way most people sort of normally grow up and are raised, they're given a certain set of things to value, and people generally value them until maybe or perhaps not, they sort of take a critical approach, and some things they throw away, other things they add. But yeah, that doesn't really answer your question properly.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, they certainly don't have to be a person of the Christian faith. Do they have to be a person of faith? Maybe of some sort. I think the pagans, a sort of healthy concept of paganism, in one sense, is closer to Christianity than a sort of denial of the sacred altogether. I mean, the pagan looks at the sun and thinks, well, that could just be a god. Or looks at the sea and says, that is a great, powerful thing. Perhaps it's a deity. And then is tempted to worship it. Well, that temptation to worship is grounded in this sort of astonishing reverence at the created world. This sense about the creation that it's something more than just the sun, right? It points to something else. And that more than just the sun, or more than just the sea, or more than just an orgasm, or this particular feeling of physical pleasure, you don't have to be a Christian to say more than, right? And to acknowledge the sort of mystery of that, of what's there. But I do think you have to be a sort of pagan of a certain sort, in a sort of classical sense, and affirm a sort of enchantment about the world that I don't think most people have, and that a certain understanding of atheism and the mechanistic nature of the universe isn't going to lend itself to. So in one sense, I'd actually find myself closer to a sort of ancient pagan than a contemporary atheist with respect to sexuality, and I'd get along with them a lot more. We'd have a lot more fun.